Welcome to Pandora, kiddos. I'm Tom, and I've got Torgue Tokens that I'm giving away, as well as a short video on how I made them. But first, I've now got an Instagram and a Facebook page. My Facebook page is going to be mostly an archive of past work, and my Instagram will be where I post progress pictures of projects that I'm working on. So go follow me there if you want to see what I'm working on that day. Now I can hear you all yelling, "Shut up, Tom, and tell me where I can get my Torgue token." Fair enough. All you've got to do is come find me at PAX West this year in Seattle. I'll be dressed as Axton, and I'll be wandering the convention center floors, handing out tokens to any fellow vault hunters that I run into or any fans that recognize me while supplies last. If you can't make it to PAX West, don't worry just yet, because if I have leftovers, I'll think of a way to get them out to anyone else who's saving up for that highly sought after Unkempt Herald. Just remember to subscribe and follow me on Instagram so you'll be the first to know if these become available. Now with all that out of the way, let's talk about how they were made. I started with a 3D print of a Torgue token that I had printed from a model I made with Google SketchUp about a year ago, but that was just a one-sided print. And I don't have a printer of my own, so I decided to make a couple copies of it with a one-part mold. Stick those together with some epoxy, smooth the sides with Bondo, and then reinvest the now two-sided piece into a two-part silicone mold. The original two-sided master ended up looking like an Oreo, like a Torgue Torgue. A ring of poster board with some two-sided tape made a perfect circular wall for the mold. I used clay to build a positive for the second half of the mold, and these nickel-plated acorn nuts made really good registrations. I still had plenty of smooth-on Umu 30 from my last mold project, so it was used for all the molds on this project as well. And I still have like half the bottles left. These 2.8-pound trial kits are actually a really good amount of rubber for the price. After the first side was cured, the walls were torn off, and I cleaned out as much of the clay as I could using just water and paper towels without disturbing the positive. Everything was dried off, a new poster board ring was wrapped around the mold, sealed with hot glue, sprayed with Krylon clear coat for a mold release, and then refilled with more silicone. This time I sacrificed one of my painting brushes in order to lay silicone into all of the details. I wanted to reduce the chances of air bubbles as much as possible. Once that pour had cured, I popped it all open and extracted the master. The Krylon did a really fantastic job as a mold release agent, even better than I had expected. A sprue hole was cut, and the mold was dusted with some cornstarch to help release the resin. The mold was now ready for its first casting, so I mixed up some smooth-on onyx, and none of it went in the mold. So I recut the sprue a bit bigger and added an air channel just in case. This time I mixed up a small batch of resin to test out my new sprue, and it went just fine. So I mixed up a full batch of resin and none of it went in the mold. So after a small to mid-sized tantrum, I ordered some more resin, hogged out the sprue hole even bigger, and added a second air channel. But what I think actually helped the most was using a bigger cup to mix and pour from so I could better control the flow. So whichever one of those measures was the solution, or a combination of all of them maybe, I finally got it working and began cranking out counterfeit tokens. The sprues were carefully cut off with a hacksaw, flashing was sanded off the sides, and they were all primed with some black spray paint. I'd actually been looking for a project to try out rub and buff, so I picked up a tube of antique gold and set to work with a rag. The final product was a very nice true metallic bronze-like luster with a flat black in the low corners to make them look greasy and weathered. I think it's the perfect look for a real-life Torgue product, and I wasn't quite willing to spend an hour on each piece cel shading it to make it look accurate to the video game. So there they are, my Torgue tokens. Remember to like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for your chance to get one of these. And until next time, keep on making.